I mean, obviously it was senior night for these guys. We wanted to send Jamel, Matt, and Derek out on a winning note. That didn't happen. We came out, started the game with a lot of energy. I thought we made some shots early and took a commanding lead. I believe the game changed. The score was 18-8, and we turned the ball over 3 times. Just errant turnovers, where we could have went up 24-18 or had a chance. Once that happened, we allowed them to make some shots. Coming out of the last media timeout before the half, it was 26-0. We went on a 9-0 run, and again broke down, turned the ball over, and allowed them to get some easy buckets to cut the lead going into half. I thought overall, in the first half, we played pretty good. And we came out the second half, and the defensive energy wasn't there. I thought Glenn Bryant did a poor job taking away shots on his side, giving Dominic Buckley 2 early threes. We didn't rebound some misses at the beginning of the second half. And then from there, it just began to spiral. Couldn't get nothing going offensively, which stagnated our defense. And give Toledo a lot of credit. They came in here with their season over, basically playing their last game. Obviously, still playing for a share of the West title. And they were playing for something tonight. They played with a little more energy, a little more and a little more desperation in the second half, being their last game. And I give them a lot of credit. I mean, Ryan Pearson was good. Dominic Buckley shot the ball well. Brown did a great job running the point guard position, making shots and finding people. So they deserve the credit. They played really well tonight. Our turnovers, I think, haunted us. And when we had a chance to really take Toledo out of the game, our point guards did a poor job to turn the ball over. So, in saying that, regular season has ended. We finished 7-9 in the MAC. Is definitely unacceptable to my standards and what I expect from this program. So we'll just keep moving forward, keep working hard, and see what we can do on Monday, depending on who the opponent is. Everybody record is 0-0 now, so we got to move forward.
You mentioned that 9-0 run at the end of the first half. J.R. Sims was 7 of that 9 points. How would you think of his performance at the later stages?
I thought J.R. was good. I thought he was good defensively in the first half. I thought he stepped up and made some big shots for us in the first half. But also his turnover started it to get them back into it in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Turning the ball over was an errant turnover. I know it's just one play, and it's a huge play with us. When you struggle to score, you definitely can't turn the ball over and give the other team a layup. If it's a turnover, a jump ball, or step out of bounds, is one thing we can get back and set our defense up. The live ball turnovers killed us tonight. But overall, J.R. was a huge effort from him on both ends of the floor, and he did make some big shots.
When they went on that huge run in the second half, do you think it was sort of, they hit a lot of open threes? Was that the zone just breaking down?
No, it was in a breakdown. They had a guy at the top where our forward is supposed to close out. Dominic Buckley just stood there and shot like it was warm-ups. That was basically Glenn Bryant and Dalen Harrison. I took Glenn out of the game for that. I put Dalen in his spot, and Dalen gave up the same 3-point shot. And it's just a lack of focus. I think anytime you're playing on the offensive end, you're feeling good about yourself offensively. I think that's what happened with Glenn tonight. He was making shots, and he kind of lost sight of what was going on defense, which that is the most important thing. Just not a good performance from him on the defensive side of the ball.
I was going to say, looking forward, what do you think the biggest difference between this year's team and last year's team heading into the tournament? What strengths do you feel like you have now as opposed to last year?
I think we're just about even. I mean, without Daryl Lampley, he was a team all-MAC player. He was a point guard. He was able to score. He was able to get people involved, and he was tough. I don't have to, talk about the point guard play, but you see it. Jalen come in and get his shot blocked. You see Austin just dribble off his foot and turn the ball over and then go lay it up. I mean, Daryl Lampley would never have done that. He would have had probably 15, 16 points tonight with 3 or 4 assists to make sure we got through the game. So point guard play is huge. Not having Ray Lee and James Steele. Anytime you go into a season and you work with guys for a whole year, we had Glenn and Dalen sitting out. So after looking at them in practice, we went and signed 2 guys late because we knew we were going to need help. That was James and Ray. And not to have those 2 guys all season, they were going to be a huge part of what we've done in our success this year. Without them, it's been tough. You know, you get opportunities, and I'm talking about our guard situation, and you got to make the best of those opportunities. I don't think Jalen played well enough to win the West Championship to repeat, and neither did Austin. I thought JR, being a off guard, shooting guard, did a phenomenal job all year long, doing something that he may not even be capable of doing it, playing point guard, but I think he filled in and did a phenomenal job the last 7 to 8 games, scoring from that position, making plays. And he had some turnovers, but, you know, we were forced to play him there because, you know, we weren't getting great production at that position. But just looking at last year's team, you had, you know, Antonio Green, who was a pretty good player, and you had Daryl Lampley. And we replaced those guys with, you know, Ray Lee and James Steele. It's tough not to have those guys. So, but moving forward, we'll get Ray back. You know, Mike Talley's sitting out right now, and we'll get 3 or 4 more other guys to replace the seniors, and I think we'll be really good going into next year with the addition of Carrington Ward, who's a junior college All-American and averaged 26 points a game and was first-team All-American at the JUCO level. I think we'll be really good. But like now, we had a chance to win. When you look back at our season, and this being the regular season and it's ending now at 14-7, you look back at Ball State, the start of the back season, and you lost by 2. You had a chance to win that game, tying it, being up at some point in the game. Then you go to Bowling Green and you had a lead with a few seconds left, and you give up a shot at the top to lose that game. And then you have Akron on the ropes. You have certain games that you could have won. If you look back, the season will be different. Our confidence will be different. Western just a week ago was a huge win. I think Western is a really good team. They're the West champs, share with Toledo. I think they played well all year from start to finish, but we just beat that team. We were up 6 or 7 points. So we've been in every game with the exception of maybe 2 or 3. And we could have won our side of the league with the guys we have right now. We had a chance. But ultimately, when you don't, you have to be realistic with yourself. You look yourself in the mirror and you say, were we really good enough? And when you don't have a point guard that can step up and run the team like Brown did for them today, just a prime example, you can't win any championships without that position playing well. And that's like you're looking at the league from Akron to Ohio, to Toledo, to Western. I mean, good guard play wins. I mean, we have the athletes and the size in our zone, but without good guard play, making great decisions, getting guys the ball, and kind of managing the team is tough. You look today, we had turnovers that high school teams shouldn't make, to be honest with you, you know, but been talking to these guys all year, we show them film, and at some point you got to admit to yourself, maybe at that position we're not just good enough. And that's probably the most important position on the floor.
Is guard play the reason why the offense stagnates?
Yeah, for sure. Well, we've struggled to score all year. We're probably last in the back in scoring, but we're number 1 in defense, field goal defense, 3-pointer, 2-pointer, points allowed, we're number 1. So that's who we are. Offensively, I mean, if you look at our team, Derek Thompson averaged 10, Glenn Bryant averaged 10. But they've been up and down all year. Derek can have 4 points and he can have 17. Glenn has 17 at Buffalo, 20 at Ball State. He comes back and he may have 6. These guys are not consistent scorers. Nobody on our team is a consistent scorer. And we'll address that moving forward. We'll have guys who can score the ball going into next year, not looking past Monday. But moving forward, we'll be really good defensively, but we'll have more consistent scoring. And when you put that combination together, you can be one of the top 2-3 teams in the MAC. And that's what we're looking forward to as we continue to build this program. What happened tonight, and even this season without the 2 guys, is just unacceptable. I mean, if you can wheel guys last year, Camille Jett, Quentin Daly, guys, they had never won, but they found it within themselves to want to have some success leaving out of here. And I tell our guys, at some point it has to mean something to you. It meant something to Antonio Green and Daryl Lampley. I don't know if it meant as much to Matt, Jamel, and Derek. Not as much. Obviously, you go in the game and everybody wants to win, but I don't know if it meant as much. That desperation, that, you know, must win. We gotta win. We want to win. Let's do anything it takes. And we didn't have that, and that's what you saw tonight. I thought for sure coming into this game, I was super confident as a coach. After game planning, practicing, reviewing film, talking to our guys, I thought for sure we would win tonight. For sure. Then we came out in the first half, the first 9 minutes, and played like I thought we would play. But anytime you make a few mistakes, the doubt creeps back in, and you haven't had as much success, and you haven't been a huge part of winning, you know, doubt kind of creeps in you know, crunch times or times when it's time to step up and make plays. And I think that's what happened tonight. And Toledo having the leading scorer in the league, and one of them is Ryan Pierce and Dominique Buckley being a senior, and those guys playing for a championship. The championship team tonight kind of took it to us and was successful. And again, I give Toledo a lot of credit. Those guys had to come here and win, and it was tough. Although it was their last game, they had a lot to play for. It's still tough to win the world in this league, and they did it. So I give Coach Washington, you know, his staff, his players a lot of credit.
At the guard position too, would you say not just maybe a lack of talent or a lack of aggression? Would that be a factor also?
I don't think guys are not aggressive. We're talented, but guard game, we gotta have, you know, you know, it's a head game. You know, you have to be smart. You have to know when to go, when to make plays. And I think we struggled all year. It's just obviously Jalen's a freshman, but he came into the game tonight. I think we were down 10. And we were still in striking distance, and he immediately crosses the ball over and goes and shoots jumps and get it blocked. When you come in the game, the point guard, we look at Derek, JR, Daly, like we trying to get somebody else involved. But that's the play he made as a point guard. He made that decision after our call to set. I like him being aggressive and confident, but that just wasn't a smart play. And opposed to making a good play and cutting it to 8, get a shot block, they get the ball, and they go lay it up. They go up 12. So now you dig yourself a deeper hole, and now you lose a little more confidence when you make that play.
Sure.
As opposed to just letting somebody else, you know, take the shot, play we call. So it's tough. It's tough. It's a learning and growing experience for all of us. But it won't be like this. It won't continue to be like this. We'll win. Trust me. We'll win. We'll replace some guys and get some guys in here, and we'll win. It's not even a concern. I just don't like losing. So I want to win with what we have, and I don't like making excuses because anytime you have close games throughout the year, you're in position to win those games. And when you don't, it's tough, especially tough for me. So we'll get prepared for Monday, and we'll see what happens. You never know. And I'm going to coach Monday, and we'll prepare Monday just like we prepared for the first game of the season, the first MAC game. It's postseason play. It's 0-0. That's the only positive spin we can put on this. And hopefully our seniors will get a chance to play in Cleveland if we win Monday, and let's just see what happens. Looking forward to it.
Anything else? Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.